This is Trevor Sternad from the Black Dahlia Murder here, and you're listening to the Everblack podcast.
Hey, humans, Carl, this is Odorous from Guam.
I'm going to the Fear Factory.
This is George Corey from Fisher.
This is Gas from Double Drop.
This is Wade from Our Last Enemy.
Magnificent Suicidal Tendencies.
Hey, this is Wednesday 13.
This is
Rex from Kill Devil Hill.
This is Gary Lee from Sepultura, and you're listening to Everblack Podcast.
Before we go into this episode of the Everblack Podcast, we just need to give a shout out to our show supporters, the occult clothing brand Electric Witch, who have amazing apparel from shirts to hoodies to hats to beanies, dresses and more. Check out their full range at electricwitch.com.au and put in the code Everblack for 20% off your order. Also, don't forget to subscribe, rate and review the Everblack Podcast on Spotify and iTunes podcast streams, and see all our video interviews on the Everblack YouTube channel. You can also read all our articles and reviews at everblack.com.au. All right, on with the show. Deja and Fiona, thanks for joining us on the show. How's everything going? I don't know where you are. Whereabouts are you guys? Where?
New Farm.
I don't know where that is. Brisbane?
Yeah. Brisbane.
That way. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much
If
for
you walk
joining.
up from the valley, you get to New Farm. That's where we are at the moment.
Okay. It's where breweries and stuff are, right?
What?
The breweries?
Oh, yeah. There is. There's apparently some underground brewery that I haven't been to yet in New Farm.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but
Underground?
I'm all about the beer, so.
Yeah. I'm pro. Same. We're pro.
Well, of course, you guys recently released not one, but two new singles. That was Infinite and Highway on the Ceiling, both killer tracks. And man, two tracks one day. That's pretty epic. What was the story behind that one?
Yeah. Well, most people are releasing one single at a time and then maybe a film clip, and I don't know, we're just trying to think of a film clip, and we've got so many ideas. It's like we want to grab one. We got too many ideas, so we're like, well, if we can't do a film clip, let's do two singles. I actually think Pete brought that up.
Yeah.
He's like, why don't we release two singles? Like, nah, you don't do that. And then we're like, actually, that's a cool idea, because no one does that, so... Yeah.
We went in to record them, and we recorded the both of them, and we were just going to put them out one by one. But I mean, part of it is that we've only released one single, but we've already got an album worth of material, and we're thinking about a second album. So it was just more like exasperation. Like, we just need to get it out there. We just want the music and the art out.
Yeah.
That's so good. Are they connected in some way? Like lyrically, is that why you chose both those tracks? Are they, theme or anything like that they connect?
Deja. Why?
I mean, not those two specifically, although there are common themes all the way through, common threads all the way through the album lyrically. Highways being one of them, so the concept of highways appears in a few songs. Yeah, so not those two songs specifically, but yes, there are correlations between those songs and the rest of the songs in the album.
Awesome. Well, they're bangers. They're so good. But the response has been great. I mean, everyone that's, I've been seeing the comments and everybody, like, you guys have been getting a lot of positivity and a lot of love for them,
Oh, thanks, Dev. Yeah, we've had good feedback about, like, all separate little parts of it, like, oh, I love this lyric bit, or I love the changeover, or Jimmy's singing, or Pete's tone, like, it's really cool, like, specific little things, yeah. Well, we're new to this, so we're still, like, just figuring it out.
Filling our way out,
Yeah, pretty much.
And, like, I don't really necessarily think that all of our music fits together. It doesn't all sound the same because, you know, we love so many different genres of music, and that in itself is what you can kind of hear when you come, because you're not quite sure what it is. Like, it, you know, is it this or that? And everyone seems to come at it with their own interpretation about what they think it is in terms of the musical history they have, which is cool.
Yeah. People go, what style of music are you? And we don't know how to answer that. We're like hoping that someone out there could tell us, but I don't know. I don't know. It's a mix.
I like that we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know what we're doing now. We're doing it. We're doing stuff.
Hey, that's what you want, though. You want something that's, you know, all the members throwing their bits and pieces into that big old pot and just cooking up some tasty riffage.
Well, we got Pete, who's a metal guitarist, a metal singer, in his history, like his past bands, and then there's Jimmy, who playing blues for ages. So there's two worlds colliding right there, and then there's us too, and
yeah,
we had a band before this, but that was weird. But this is a lot better. This is a lot better, this one, and yeah, it's cool. Like, some people hear blues, some people hear metal, some people think stoner, some people think psych. It's like, cool. We like all that shit.
All the good stuff. But you're recording right now. Well, not right this second. Well, we're recording, but you're recording an album right now.
Inception.
Right?
Recording Inception.
So, not last week, maybe the week before, we were at Airlock for a week, just bunkered down, and
that was awesome.
I think it was 8 songs in 6 days, was it? So basically,
5 days.
that last wave of whatever hit, and we're going to do a gig, and then that night before it got canned, and then the week after, so then there was a 3-day lockdown. So we meant to go to the studio Monday, but we couldn't, so we went the Tuesday, and by Tuesday we were fucking fired up, you know, like, let's do this. So we were lucky to still even get in there. So we went Tuesday to Saturday, and we had a plan for, you know, a heap of songs, and then a couple of magical moments happened in the studio, like any band would tell you, you know, there's just stuff you can't prepare for, and we got in there, and the, what do you call it, chemistry, like when you're in a fucking cook, like a slow cooker with your band, and then you're just forced to create together. So it was really cool. Some really cool stuff happened that we didn't see coming, I guess. Yeah.
Is it all in the can?
The most exciting part, I think, like for all of us, you know, 5 days lockdown, creating is a dream, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
With nothing else to do but create. Like, I was so excited for that. And once we got the bulk of the work done, we had this time where we could just say, okay, how do we reimagine what we think it is, or how do we stop applying rules? Because if we had been able to make the songs better before then, we would have already done it. So, you know, it sort of gave us like this space to reimagine what we thought we could do and push ourselves.
We've always had Steve there mixing and recording us, and he knows our vibe now, so he really gets the best out of us. And he's amazing to work with. He's awesome. He brought, I don't know how to say it, but he helped us reach where we need to go. We tell him what we think we want to do, and then he makes it happen somehow.
The magic of music, man. Getting in there, getting those vibes, cooking up something awesome. I keep saying cooking. I keep going back to cooking. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm hungry.
It's cooking.
But it's, hey, man.
I think baking, like maybe like you bake a cake and then you ice the cake, you know?
Yeah.
You get the cake all delicious and then you've got to ice the cake. The cake got to be iced.
You lick the spoon or not? You got to have the spoon, right?
Surely.
Just have anything.
Spoon?
Sometimes
What's
we
long
just
guy?
use
What's the name of the
nothing.
long guy?
You just go in with your mouth.
Your face, like just like straight from old tongue to the cake.
Yeah, I don't know where we're going with it, but I don't know where I'm going with it. But I'm loving it, mate. It's awesome. I can't wait to hear what you guys have been working on, and of course, Is it in the can now? It's all done. Is it ready to roll? Just getting mixed?
So by the end of the session, we had the first mixes done. And then we had the time to sit with them. Now, because we lost that day, it worked out well, so we can have that day later to go back in and do all the finishing touches to it.
Yeah.
So, which works out really cool. I mean, we can get edits to the mixes, but now having this whole extra day, it doesn't have to be done via email. We can go in and, you know, play this Moog or add this Rainmaker, Shaker, whatever, all the, you know, whatever we want to do to it. But then, so we're hoping to release an album in winter sometime this year. So there's not a lot of work done, a lot of work to be done to finish it. Then we get it mastered, and yes, we've. I want to talk about our art because.
Funny you're going to say that, because that was my next question. What? I was gonna, yeah. But continue.
Oh yeah, I just I feel that you know, art, especially in this age where everything is just internet based. Well, it's always been about art as well, but we hit the jackpot with our artists. So we have someone called Sam Dunn, who's a friend of mine, who does art, and you know, I always say to him on the side, it feels like you're part of our band, because how you put your band out to the public is also just as important. You know, that's what captures people, the art.
Yes.
They listen to it, but I want to see art that captures me first. So we try to really focus on that.
Yeah.
And there's a band that, well, both of us really love, and they're called Son of Man. So they're, and they, with their artwork, they have this like continuum through everything. And Sam and I were talking about it, we're like, hey, he's like, I really like that. I was like, yeah, that's really cool. So, you know, inside the music, Deja's always loved people that have a continuing theme throughout their music, or even like one album and the next album it has a song but a different version of it.
Yeah.
So we really try to capture that with the art. So he's working on the artwork now, which...
It's been really cool working with Sam, because it's been, like, he's never done anything like this before, and obviously we haven't either. And, you know, we wanted it to be a genuine collaboration. So, you know, it was kind of like us learning along the way, where I would send him lyrics, and then he would hit me up with questions, and then we'd go back and forth, and he'd come to me, you know, like it was a true collaboration. And then, you know, and because he's just so visionary in terms of how he thinks of things, I'm like, this is how I feel about it, but I want to see how you feel about it, you know? So that's kind of how the art worked. And
what about the gold and the red and the black? You know, what's the symbolism behind that? Because that was going to be my question in regards to the artwork. Was, you know, that they seem to all tie in with that imagery, the black, gold.
Yes they do, Nev. Yes they do.
So
well, basically it started with a logo, and we hit him up to do that, and you know, the automaton, what does it mean, and what's it representative of, and then it went to genres of like Art Deco style, sci-fi, kind of that stuff. And then he just went deep inside of that and created what we think is an amazing logo. So, you know, he's just going to do a logo for us, and then we trapped his ass to do the whole thing. And he come up with this artwork that was like what do you call it? The poles with the thing and the frequencies coming off it. And I thought that was genius. I was like, that's...
The receiver.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought that was
so meta.
Yeah. And he put the red dot on it. So of course we had to have a discussion. Keep the dot, ditch the dot, but we ended up keeping it, and then it was in the next thing, and then it was in the next thing, and now it's just kind of just stuck there. And
I like the concept of the color. I mean, obviously we make pretty heavy music. Not all heavy, but a lot of it's heavy, and I don't see those kinds of color schemes or that kind of palette anywhere in heavy music, really, you know. And I think that's what I love most about his art is that, similar to him, like not all of us, we have really broad spectrum tastes in music and art and everything like that. So it's not just, I suppose, pastiching ourselves into a corner with how we appear or whatever. It's kind of allowing a completely different concept to be added to the music. I don't know what I'm saying. Something like that.
No. I get what you're saying.
We wanted to just be especially me and Deja and the boys as well. Like, I love rainbow stuff. Deja loves real black, white, plain, and so this was a good mix of, you know, that black with that rust color and then that splash of red. So there is a bit of color in there. So yeah. But I say to Sam, you know, it feels like you're a band member because there's the people who make the music. Yeah, that's the band, but you know, and we know you need a whole support network to that happen. So he's super important to us, and I tell him that all the time, and he hates it because he's like, shy, but Sam's awesome. Sam's awesome.
And of course, you know, how'd the band come about initially? That's one thing. I mean, you guys, because I remember talking to you a long time ago, about, you know, playing drums and I'm getting this band together, and then like lightning, you guys were like, pow, you just hear.
So basically, Pete and I have been friends for a really long time.
Yeah.
And I've been watching his bands for the last 10, 15 years, since the Basement days and his first band, Southern Crossfire. And then it's Screaming Dawn, then it's 308, then he sung for Bonesaw, so all this. Now, I was at a party about 10, 15 years ago. My sister said, come to my friend Deja's party. I said, all right. And I heard Deja sing, and I was like, and then I said one day, in my head, I said, one day I'm going to start a band with this girl. She's fucking amazing. And so one day I was going to the open mic nights and that, and Pete and I were hanging out doing that. And we needed a singer for an old band. So I rang Deja and I said, I wrote to you. I said, like, yo, do you want to sing in a band? And you're like, yeah, I don't know what to do. I'm like, I don't know what to fucking do either, but do you want to do it? And you're like, yeah, all right. So then that was our old band, and then we came together with Pete, because I said, Pete, I was trying to trap his ass somehow, right? Deja had written this song, and I knew it was a banger, which no one's heard yet, and I sent it to him, because I'm like, how am I going to trap this guy? I got this girl, how do I trap the guy now? So, hit him up.
Street hustle is street hustle.
Yeah. So then I played him that. I was like, we need to start a band, dude. And I just, you know, so then we all got together, and it just
it was all
worked. Good. And then it was, how are we going to find a bass player? So, look, there's some stories behind there. I won't tell you all that, but it was weird for a while there.
Yeah.
And then we were at a Mojo Burning, and there was Jimmy. And Jimmy, that's you started that.
Yeah. Well, I knew he was a guitarist because he's in Swamp Gully Howlers.
Yes.
And he was a guitarist. Yeah, and I also know that he was a really good player. Like, I'd seen him play. So, yeah, I hit him up. I think we were very drunk, let's be real. I hit him up. He agreed to come jam, and then he bailed, and then we sort of gave it up for a bit.
And then we're like, all right, we're split signal. Pete can split signal. Deja, you're going to learn to play bass. Yeah. And it's like, how are we going to do this?
Yeah,
and
but
then,
eventually he came around and jammed, and it was the same. It was just really organic. So well, basically Katie, their singer, got pregnant, and you know they were having a hiatus for a while, and you know, I jumped down his throat and I heckled him and said, "Come and jam." Because you got to do this. And so anyway, he came, and it was good, and he just calmed as like playing along to the guitar. You know, he came with his own shit. We didn't tell him what to do. He's just playing his own like lines, and he just matched in really well with us.
That's awesome.
So and it just kind of all went from there. That's what we needed to start, and then we went from there. We already had all the songs written, and then he just fell into us like so easily.
We've written a couple since maybe like three since Jim joined, and then Jim wrote all his bass riffs over what we'd written as well.
And he wrote, like, there's a song with just bass and singing, so he'd written his own song, which is really cool, which you guys will all hear one day.
Keen. Very, very keen. Well, you know, it is really hard to find members in Queensland.
Yeah, it really is.
Different stuff, but when you get that right, you know, that right line up, you know, it's like lightning in a bottle, eh?
It's so complicated, you know, like I think anyone that's been in a band probably says the same thing. It's like, because it's beyond just playing music with them. Like, you spend so much time with those people. They're essentially just an extension of your family or your real family, you know? So you have to sound sonically perfect for each other, and then you have to be able to fit together, you know, spend huge periods of time together without killing each other. So it's a complex thing to try and find.
It's a very, yes, it is. And
the boys,
you know,
I mean, the boys, they've got experience, and me and Deja are new to this, and we're both super alpha females, ferocious, you know, and so yeah, the boys are awesome. Like, they just roll with us, and we just try not to be too dominating of everything, but yeah.
But, hey, but it's all coming up Millhouse. It's all coming together. And in saying that, I mean, you guys, you've played, you know, a couple of awesome shows so far, and you've got some real zingers coming up too. You got what is it? This Sunset
Astrodeath.
Astrodeath. Man, how's it been bringing this stuff to the stage so far?
Yeah.
Someone once said it was our old bass player said, it's 10 jam sessions per gig.
Yeah.
Because you just learn so much.
You learn so much.
It's true.
So I think the
performance isn't really something that I feel comes natural to me at all. I've had to like really focus on that, because I love to create. Like, that's my joy, you know, that's my passion. But performance is like its whole different thing, and so yeah. I mean, I get better with time with it. Definitely, I think we probably all do. The more we do it, the better we get. So yeah, but I mean, these gigs coming up, like, we're gonna get to play at the zoo. Like, that's so fucking cool, you know?
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Like, I saw Beth Ditto on that stage doing the splits and rolling around in her underwear. I can't believe I get to do the same thing. Yes. I mean, I don't want to give away any secrets, but
spoilers.
No, I
That's actually, so that'll be this Friday, and we got something I'm super excited about for that show is we got Nathan, my friend. I used to play in a band with him, and he's doing the visual projections for that.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I've been to some outdoor doofs, and I thought, oh fuck, this would be great if they just had rock music to it. You know, I thought maybe I'd go to an outdoor doof and put headphones on and just listen to my own music. And so I was like, how can we make this happen? And we hit him up, and he was keen. Oh, he actually hit us up too. But yeah, so that's going to be really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. And Astrodeath as well, as you mentioned, like.
Yes.
It's all happening.
What Astrodeath.
It's
so good.
The year has only just started. So it's like the year's only just begun, really. And it's get those rowing shoes on, Goyles.
Oh, we do. We got them on.
Mate, it's going to happen.
You know, we behind this, working on this album, really, we'd like to get on tour, you know, go down the East Coast and get out of Brisbane and go other places, other bands, get out there, get around.
Absolutely.
We haven't done that before, but we'll figure that out too, Nev.
So I guess that's the plan. You're going to release the album. Is it coming out on vinyl as well? Is that something that's on the cards?
Definitely.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're pretty like passionate about vinyl, so.
Oh yeah, bit hyper obsessed.
It's been a long-standing joke that I'm only in this for the vinyl.
That's a special thing. That's going to be a
Vinyl,
moment.
and then I'm out.
That's going to be a special moment, though. I mean, to have pull it out of the sleeve and that smell and the feel and the sleeve.
Crackle. I actually smelled. Deja has a Rolling Stone magazine here with like women in rock, and I opened it and it smelled like
It's from the 90s. It's like
it smelled like the Elizabeth Arcade. And I was like, how does this smell like 20 years ago? She said, because it's been with a pile of incense. Is that right? Yeah. So,
It smells like scarab in the 90s.
oh, yeah.
Good times. Good times. Well, so is it? What else you guys got coming up apart from that? Anything else on the cards?
Tour.
We need to do a film clip.
clips.
We need to just, pick one of our gazillion ideas and go with that. Tour
I think we're probably most excited about creating again, because we've been our heads have been in the album space for so long. The preparation for it, the hustle, all that stuff,
the back end stuff.
Yeah, the back end stuff, all the stuff. But just like I'm really excited to get to create again and kind of reimagine what we think we should do next. And we don't have any sort of decisions made or direction or anything like that. That's exciting, that's the best part. I love that.
I'm definitely excited for you guys. That's for sure.
Thanks.
Super pumped. No, it's going to be a good year for you guys. I can feel it. It's already, as I said, it's already kicking off nice and positive. And
Thanks,
go crush it. Well, of course, I definitely appreciate you guys hanging out on the show. You're playing this Friday night at the zoo. That's the 5th. Got all my
Friday the 5th.
Friday the 5th.
Friday the 5th with the aunties who fucking dying to see them. They're just a 3-piece. They're just young kids. They are amazing.
They're amazing.
Then our Sensorina Laurie, and then Sunset Junkies. Obviously, they're re-releasing Cosmos on vinyl, so that's what we're jumping in for with that. Really excited to hit the zoo. We've all had our little fangirl and fanboy moments and talked about all the bands we've seen there. It's a pretty cool achievement for us.
Yeah. It's that history in those floorboards, mate.
Right? Yeah.
Stinky.
Feel it. Feel it in your feet when you get up there. Take that deep breath and just enjoy it. That's it. That was the party. Remember the old party days when you'd walk in there and you knew you were home when you'd be sticking to the floor?
Oh, yeah. Ferociously sticking to the floor. Yeah.
It was gross, but I kind of miss it sometimes.
Yeah.
What I wouldn't do to just go back and drink my $2 VB and
get stuck to the floor again.
Yeah.
When everything shut with the pandemic and we weren't able to gig or even rehearse, everyone was kind of the same. And then we had a gig at Brightside, and it had been a couple of hours. We played, whatever, watching bands, drinking beer. And I went to the bathroom and I had that moment where my feet stuck to the ground. And because it's been so long, I'd been in isolation for so long, I was just so pleased that my feet were going. So I had a little moment in the toilet thinking about, this is glorious.
Yeah.
Love
I think
that.
I've just come up with a marketing, some kind of merch for
lockdowns
lockdowns where you just have how you get those little strips of was it AstroTurf with just a strip of lino. Yes. And so whenever you're sad that if you're at home and you just put it in front of the TV, some people got foot massages, but you just have that and you mate, right back.
Burn some Nag Champa, just
we need a shark.
Get your mate next to you, just generally just pour a little bit of beer on you and blow it in your face.
See, that's it. Get a friend to come over and tell you a really long story.
Go on your toilet.
A little bit.
Blow your toilet. Hey, that was always the worst thing about the party. Was those toilets.
Yeah.
You had to get in early. Or it was all over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember the big day out toilets?
Oh.
The portaloos? Like
Yeah.
the long portaloos. Oh my gosh.
All I remember.
I've stepped into ankle deep water.
Oh,
Like ankle deep.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the truck. Oh God, I can't even.
No.
I mean, it's a real experience, you know.
Oh. Kids,
Have you really partied until you're ankle deep in something you don't know?
you go in there. I just remember going in there and the smell was so overwhelming and you had sunburn. So you were cooking in there and the heat was in there and all you could do was
In
just
the plastic tub.
eating the plastic and then you had to pump the thing to wash your hands that never worked properly and then try and open
And
the...
you can't see because the sweat's dripping down in your
Yeah.
eyeballs.
And there was always that weirdo. You'd open the door and there was always that weirdo just standing there going, oh, you're going to be...
Those were the days. I miss those days.
I miss it.
See, that's what needs to be in the bar patch, like as well. You know, the bar turf. A little bit of big day out goo.
Maybe, oh, mate, I think we're onto something here. We just drive around a portaloo to people's places to relive those days. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out, guys. It's been awesome hanging out and talking all kinds of automaton business. And we will see you at the shows. Stay well, stay good, and enjoy
Excellent.
that wine.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for having us.